Welcome again to Holistic Triathlon. Today with an episode about core strength or core athletic training. That is something that many triathletes are very well aware of, that they should do it more often, but I also know that many of us are not as diligent as we should be when it comes to strengthening our core. Therefore, for me today, like a video to share my 14-15 minutes core exercise routine with you. Very, very simple, without any equipment. It's just with your own body weight, and you basically need only like a yoga mat to make it more comfortable. You can also just do it on the carpet. Doesn't make a difference at the end of the day. And I try to do this routine, let's say 3 to 4 times in best case a week. Do it, for example, like in the morning before I go on easy morning jogs. I try to activate my core 10 to 15 minutes. Sometimes when I'm early at the pool, then I also like do this routine before I jump into the water. And also like a good recommendation, think about your evenings when you maybe sit there, enjoy the evening with a little bit of Netflix after dinner. Instead of just sitting on the sofa and relaxing, maybe put the laptop aside quickly and do 10 to 15 minutes of core exercises while you are watching Netflix. That being said, today I do this like live, 15 minutes approximately, so you have the opportunity to simply join in real time. You can also, again, use the chapters below to jump from exercise to exercise, to simply see what exercise I do include here in the video. Maybe before we're getting started, a quick idea again why core athletic is super essential for triathletes. So core athletic is, so to say, one of 2 disciplines or factors when it comes to strengthening your body. We have core and stability training, and then as a second part we have strength training. And for me the differentiation is quite clear. Core and stability is basically everything you can do mainly with your own body weight, and it is more about having postures where you hold a certain position for quite a while, giving some tension to the body, and this is a great way of strengthening intramuscular connections. So that is the one form of strength training that triathletes should do a lot. I think like several times a week is definitely a good idea. If you have the time for that, I would say at least 2 times of 15 to 20 minutes a week is the best way for every triathlete to get started with that. And then you have strength training. Strength training for me is you go to the gym and you have weights and you really work on getting your muscle stronger. The core exercises we do now are not necessarily there to make your muscles stronger. They are there to protect your muscles, to make them more stable and more lasting when you have a power output. So core training is extremely important, not only to prevent, for example, injury, and also like increase your muscles' ability for recovery, but it is especially important when it comes to your long-term technique. We know it very much from swimming. I think that is a problem like many triathletes face actually, that when we swim, that our legs are not really streamlined with our body. Often we see swimmers that we swim and our legs are like falling a little bit down into the water and are not as streamlined with the body as it should be. And then we see videos of swimmers and we're always like amazed like how streamlined they are in the water. So a big part of that is your core stability. If you do an exercise in the pool, you push yourself from the side of the pool and you try to glide underwater as long as possible in a streamlined position. You will feel if you have a strong core or not. You will feel by the way how you float up and how you float on the water. So that is like one aspect where core training plays a decisive role for your swim performance. When it comes to the bike, one aspect where we most often realize that we have issues with our core is when pushing, for example, the first time in the season. We come out of winter, we are at the first competitions, and then suddenly you push on the bike and suddenly you feel your lower back like crazy, especially when you come off the bike and on the run and the days after the competition. That is a clear sign that your core was too weak for the performance that you were conducting there. So this is also like an aspect for cyclists. A strong core is really good for like pushing hard on the bike, but protecting your lower back against the impact that you have when you're pushing hard on the bike. Finally, for runners, I think we all have seen that. Go to any kind of half marathon or marathon event and place yourself close to the finish line, and then maybe wait for the guys that finish in the last third of the race. You will see so many people running and it looks like they are sitting. Yeah, they're not straight anymore, their shoulders are not up, their chest is not forward, they're just sitting and they try to come through the marathon, somehow finish it. So the sitting position is a clear sign that your core muscles simply gave up. The impact, the time of the run was way too long, and your core couldn't keep up with the impact from, for example, like this marathon race. And especially for triathletes, especially when it goes to the longer distance, this is extremely important. We normally come off the bike and are extremely tired. I mean, we already did a big impact on our body by swimming and cycling at very high paces. So you come off the bike and your body is basically like, oh, what are you doing to me, right? So strong core muscles are extremely important when you want to have a great running performance. So therefore, I regard core athletic training as something very essential to most triathletes. And with that being said, let's go to the routine. While I do it here live, and you can just join me, I will give some explanations of the exercises. So the next 10 to 15 minutes live, we will do this core exercise together. We start with a very simple exercise, planking forward. Time goes now for about 40 seconds in the first round. Very important here, looking down, having one line with the body. Your butt should not like stick out to the top or bottom. Should be really, really straightforward, having a nice and even distribution between the two arms. So 20 seconds left. And we will from that go directly into the side plank. I really like to do these transitions smoothly without any interruption in between to extend the impact a little bit. 3, 2, 1, and we switch immediately into the first side plank. I like to do it under the other arm. Again, you have nice tension here in your butt, that you're one straight line, forward, not going down or out of your butt, very important. Do that again for 40 seconds. On that side, I always like the arm up here, so it's a little bit like you're at the beach and you're looking good. 15 seconds left until we switch directly to the second side, and then will come a short break. 10, 5, 2, 1, and we switch to the other side. So again, 40 seconds on the other side. Chill and easy, and afterwards we will have a 30 seconds break. Okay, 20 seconds left. 15, 10, 5, 2, 1. Okay, and we have a 30 seconds break. Shake your shoulders a little bit. I'm always like super annoyed at this fellow when he's like sitting there super cozy while I'm like suffering. Now we repeat this exercise. I always like to do that twice, if not even 3 times. You can also like extend the duration the fitter you are. I always think 40 seconds is totally good to start with. Now for the second round, I show you some variations. We start again with the normal plank. By now, 40 seconds. And a nice variation you can do here is pushing up and down into like this classic yoga plank position. So very slowly you go up and down, maybe 10 times. Maybe you do it the whole time. That is totally up to you and up to your fitness level. And you will really feel it like here already in your core muscles that this is kind of a heavy impact. I don't always like to give it a short rest and really enjoy this burning feeling. It's only 2 seconds left, and we switch to the left side again. And then I always like start like this again, 10 seconds to get a good posture, position, and then what you can do is you can start slowly moving your leg up and down 10 times. Try to stay as straight and controlled as possible. Then you go again with a normal position, hold it, really feel it in the side, very nice impact. 5 seconds left, And we switch on the second side. Hold it again for 10 seconds first to stabilize. And then again 10 times, slowly moving the leg up and down. Holding it again. Five seconds left. And we have a break. Okay, 30 seconds break. Good start, good warm up. Next exercise we do is the bridge. So for the bridge, you put yourself on your shoulders, on your back, feet are parallel to each other. And what we will do, we will lift up the butt for 2 minutes. And again, I will show you in between some variations to make this exercise a little bit more challenging. And we start now getting up. And for some people, if you just start out with like core athletics, you've never done it before, this might be already like a challenging enough exercise simply to hold it for 2 minutes. This is totally fine. I always start to just like hold it a bit. Good exercise for the lower back, but also for the back side of your quads, which are usually underdeveloped for most athletes, and actually a very important part both for biking and running to increase your performance. Then I just start like stretching the legs for like maybe like 10 seconds on the one side, 10 seconds on the other. Try to have a straight line very nicely and lean. And again 10 seconds on the one side. And again 10 seconds on the other. And then we only have 50 seconds left. Again, butt nice up. The butt has very nice tension here, very important. So, and then only 30 seconds left. Another thing I do is 15 times moving up and down. Give it some extra push. And then we're actually already done with that exercise. Another 30 seconds break. Before we will look into another like core exercise, rather challenging exercise for many athletes, for especially the stomach muscles, both frontal and side. So be careful with that one. Start easily. If it is too tough for 30 seconds, then try it shorter. I do it 2 times 30 seconds. Easy exercise, hands on the shoulder, and we just lift our legs and hold them for 30 seconds. Straight legs, as straight as possible. The lower you have the legs, the harder it is. You see my legs are not very low, so I'm not that well developed at the moment in my core muscles. But holding this for 30 seconds already, very good impact. Only 5 seconds left. So we do a 20 seconds break. 2, 1, 0. Okay, 20 seconds break. Now it's really like an exercise that after the second, third time really hurts in your stomach area. So you can do this easily like 3 or 4 times if you want, totally depending on your fitness level. Yeah, core athletics, always building it up gradually is very important. Second time, and again 30 seconds. Okay, 20. 15. 10. 25. Okay, and break. 20 seconds again. So that's a very nice, tough exercise. Again, we switch back to the back after we did the stomach muscles. Next exercise, we are down for our hips. And what we will do is like straight legs. The toes are on the ground, very important. Don't lift them up, have them on the ground and stretch the legs so that your knees do not have ground contact. And what we then will do is we look down and we take up our arms, first and foremost in this angle. We do that exercise for 90 seconds, starting now. And it might be hard enough for you simply to hold this for 90 seconds to start with, because for some, the shoulder muscles, the lower back especially, that is very much under tension here, is not very well developed. Starting just with 30 seconds in standard position. And once we do that, one variation you can do is, for example, moving the shoulders up 10 times. Only the shoulders, try to hold the neck and the head constant. You really want to work in the shoulders here. Okay, then we only have some 30 seconds left. Arms already getting quite tough, shoulders get a bit tired. So also there, not totally well developed at the moment, what I can see or feel. We have 15 seconds left. In the last 10 seconds, I really like to stretch my arms simply forward, like in swimming and gliding. So just stretching them forward and holding it for 10 seconds. That is a very, very tough impact on the lower body and the shoulder. 2, 1, and break. Okay, another 30 seconds break. And then we are already nearly done. We have more than 11 minutes of the program already done. Next thing that we look at is the legs. Because the camera wrap it up so you see me a bit better. What I want to do now is we are just sitting down, simply like as if we sit against the wall, but we do it without a wall. Simply sitting for 1 minute in a position of a 90-degree angle in the knees, holding that for 60 seconds. And we're repeating this exercise twice, because I think it's a very important exercise to support your legs, especially your quads, that are usually under a lot of tension when doing triathlon training, especially when you bike a lot. So that is an exercise I like to repeat at least twice. 30 seconds left. $15. 10. 5. And break half a minute. Shaking the legs, being easy. Big impact on squats. So second repeat in 10 seconds. Getting ready. Your feet should be like as wide as your shoulders, parallel. And then you go back without bending the knees over the toes, just going back with your butt until you're approximately in 90-degree position. And you hold that again for 60 seconds. 15 done. Okay, halfway through. Starting really to burn here right now. After a long training week last week, 20 seconds. 15. 10. Three, two, one. Okay, and shaking the legs. Okay. That basically was my little standard routine. Hope helped you a little bit. 14 minutes. So in my opinion, it's not much more that is necessary. If you do that like 2-3 times a week, you will definitely have some very positive impact already on your core strength. Starting early with it in the season, doing it consistently is very important. And the longer you come the season, build it gradually up. All these exercises you either can do longer or a bit harder with the variation I showed you. So there's a lot of flexibility for you to adjust this exactly to your needs. If you liked the video, remember to subscribe. That is the best form to show your support for the work I'm doing here on YouTube. But also remember my Instagram platform that is linked in the footer below the video, where you get nearly daily updates about my own training and a lot of inspiration about triathlon training in general. Until then, have a great time and see you around.